Namaskar dosto. In today's video, we are going to review 5 stocks. The first company that we review is PNGS Reva Diamond Jewelers. So as the name suggests, this is a jewelry company. It's a company which operates on the B2C format. मतलब इनके retail stores है. It does not operate on B2B format. मतलब एक contract manufacturer नहीं है. तो we have discussed multiple B2B format companies on the channels. We have discussed Advait Jewels. We had discussed श्रृंगार जो कि मंगलसूत्र बनाता है तो mass market product है. Advait जो है वो थोड़ा premium product है इसलिए ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन्स 30% के है. शांति गोल्ड अगर आप देखोगे या फिर ना श्रृंगार देखोगे, स्काई गोल्ड देखोगे, जो B2B प्लेयर्स है इनके ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन सिंगल डिजिट में. तो सिर्फ अद्वित एक ऐसा प्लेयर है B2B सेगमेंट में जिसके ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन्स 25-30% के. ब्राइडल ज्वेलरी देता है, प्रीमियम ज्वेलरी बेचता है, राइट. उसी तरह PNGS रेवा B2C फॉर्मेट में operating profit margins are somewhere in the range of 25-30%. So if you look at operating profit margins of, let's say, a PN Gadgil, or for that instance a Senco or Kalyan, उनके single digit operating profit margins रहते हैं because these are mass market product companies, right? बहुत सारे a variety of products that these companies sell, variety of jewelry that these companies sell. इस कंपनी के ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन्स आर 25-30% रेंज में. देयर आर 3 रीजंस फॉर दैट. वन, एक तो ये कंपनी एक SIS फॉर्मेट पे ऑपरेट करती है. तो शॉप इन शॉप एक फॉर्मेट है क्योंकि इसकी मदर कंपनी ऑफ PNGS रेवा इज PNG Gadgil, or PN Gadgil. So this company kind of operates out of the real estate of PN Gadgil or the shops of PN Gadgil. So it does not have to incur operating expenses on electricity or real estate. So that's why the operating profit margins are a bit expanded for this company. One, तो operating cost नहीं है business का. So it's getting into a COCO model right now. It's opening like 15 stores in Maharashtra. So 90% of the business comes from Maharashtra. So it is getting into a COCO model. So OPM, operating profit margin or EBITDA margin could contract over a period of time, but currently it looks really 25-30%, right? So this is one reason. So SIS model, not COCO model, at least so far, right? The second thing is, it projects itself as a very niche and a premium player. This is not a mass market player, and it's not a mass market player because the main product over here is diamond. So gold is more of a commoditized player. Gold के prices बहुत बढ़ गए इसलिए लोगों का झुकाव जो है या फिर लोगों का जो the people are or the buyers are moving towards studded jewelry. Buyers are moving towards diamonds. Buyers are moving towards stones. So there are certain tailwinds that this business has. That's why the profit growth of this business is around 250%. The sales growth year on year has been very strong as well. So this is more of a niche boutique player. You won't find this as a mass market kind of a product or a company. So this was the second thing. And the third thing which I covered already was it's more into diamond. So diamond is value added. Gold is not value added, or the element of value addition is gold is very, very limited. मतलब bangles या फिर earrings. Diamond में there is a lot of things which one could do. That's why if you see the operating profit margins of this company are 25-30% operating profit margin. The second company is JSW Infrastructure. So when I was analyzing the port sector, I initially thought that Adani Ports is one company which is very strong. This is the company of choice. This is the company which one could invest in. But over a period of time, I understood that JSW Infrastructure is better than Adani Ports. So thoda मैं Adani Ports, there are couple of things about, or 4 points which stand out about Adani Port when I was kind of analyzing this company. तो Adani Port सबसे पहले तो एक free cash flow positive company है, right? इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है, 3,80,000 market capitalization है Adani Port का. They have around 15 ports under their umbrella. It's a free cash flow positive company. That is one good thing about Adani Ports. The second thing is the operating profit margin of Adani Ports is 60%, whereas the operating profit margin of JSW is around 50%. So JSW तो free cash flow positive company भी नहीं है. Operating profit margin is 50%. The third thing is the capacity utilization of ports for Adani is around 75%, whereas if you look at JSW, it's I think 55-60%, not more than 60%. So capacity utilization, मतलब operational efficiency पे भी JSW इतनी सही नहीं है. Fourth and the most important thing, Adani, in spite of such huge size, is operating at a PE of 27, whereas JSW is operating double than that of PE. तो almost 50 का PE JSW का. तो JSW मुझे क्यों अच्छा लग रहा है, that is something which I need to clarify. क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीज़ें Adani Ports में दिख रही है जो काफ़ी positive है, then one needs to look at Adani Port, and it's a nifty 50 company if I'm not wrong, Adani Ports, right? But JSW I feel is a better player for 3 reasons, right? First, Adani is a very matured kind of a player with 500 MMT capacity, whereas ऑनेस्ट, JSW का जो करंट कैपेसिटी है 180 है, इट वांट्स टू गो टू 400 बाय 2030. तो Adani Ports is more of a matured player. JSW is, it's kind of building, it's kind of scaling. तो यहाँ पे growth का scope दिखता है, इसलिए इसको P कहीं ना कहीं ज़्यादा दिया गया है. सेकेंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, दोनों का पेरेंटेज काफ़ी स्ट्रांग है. अदानी का भी पेरेंटेज ऑब्वियसली स्ट्रांग है, JSW इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का पेरेंटेज काफ़ी स्ट्रांग है, बट FIIs आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन JSW बिकॉज ऑफ certain past corporate governance issues in Adani. So that's why you see JSW Infrastructure में FII stakes in the last 1 quarter have almost doubled. So FIIs का जो obvious choice है, if tomorrow FIIs kind of come back to the Indian markets, they would choose JSW Infrastructure and not Adani Ports because of corporate governance issues in Adani, right? This was the second thing. Third thing, JSW Infrastructure का बहुत there is a lot of predictability in the business of JSW Infrastructure, right? 90% of its business is captive business. So, whatever business that JSW group gives it, for example, transportation of cement, iron ore, whatever bulk commodities that it transports, right? 90% of the business is captive business. Wherein if you look at Adani Ports, it is always in a constant kind of capex mode. So, for example, it's developing Vizhinjam Port right now. It's doing a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So you see a constant capex happening in Adani for the last 5 years, and the way they are going, there is a lot of predictability that I see in JSW Infrastructure as compared to Adani Ports. That's why JSW Infrastructure is a better company, at least from my point of view. There is another company called as Gujarat Pipavav, right? So इस company को on the face of it, it's a small cap, करीबन 7,000 crore market capitalization है. It's backed by Merckx, which is like a global, strong logistics player, काफी strong parentage है. And, operating profit margins are 61%, ROE, ROC is 25%. So on the face of it, Gujarat Pipavav would look like a very good player. Plus उसका जो P जो है वो 14 का है, but one has to be very careful when you're looking at these kind of companies, because क्या है कि एक सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो गुजरात पीपावाव में ये है कि there is only one port that that company has, whereas you're talking about JS Infrastructure and Adani Ports, they have multiple ports. Secondly, that one port is very near to Mundra Port, which is like the biggest port or one of the busiest ports in India, right? तो ये एक प्रॉब्लम है, competition बहुत strong है. Third thing, the way it works with ports is that the land belongs to the government. These people, these port operators, they build, they maintain, they do all the operations around it. So the lease for that port which Gujarat Pipavav has is going to expire in 2028. So lease renew ho jayegi, but why to kind of look at companies which are very कोई reinvestment नहीं होने वाला है business में. They are more than happy to be within that one port and kind of a matured port that they have. So that's why these are the 3 kind of companies, port companies, that you would find, port operators you would find, and my bet is on JSW Infrastructure. So these are not stock recommendations, this is no buy or sell recommendation, right? So the last company is Blue Dart. I think Blue Dart is going to turn around. This is what I feel, क्योंकि काफ़ी एक साल काफ़ी खराब था with this war, with prices going up. The Blue Dart is basically your value added services, logistics of value added services, right? So for example, if I have to send something which is very जो बहुत कीमती चीज़ हो, if I have to send it, let's say from Pune to Kolkata or Pune to Delhi, I would rather choose Blue Dart than any other logistics company. And obviously Blue Dart has pricing power, right? So if you look at the important metrics, retail penetration, number of employees, shipment, warehouses, tonnages, they all have increased in the last 1 year plus. After such a difficult time, this company, after this war, due to which the fuel prices went up, क्योंकि flight से काफ़ी ज़्यादा transportation होता है, this company has given a PAT of 80% year on year. So I think this company is going to bottom out. B2B share is 75%, B2C is 25%. B2C में काफ़ी strong pricing power है. So if B2C kind of goes up, but I think this company could turn around. काफ़ी ठुक गई ये company. This is something which one could look at, right? Blue Dart. Thank you very much for your time. Take care. Bye bye.